We're hearing today that MPs don't think HS2 plan to go between London and Birmingham is good value for money. It's expected to cost around 50 billion quid, but the report by the Public Accounts Committee says it's a concern that could be used to mask cost increases and the train line might not have the desired impact. More residents affected by the scheme as well will get government compensation and assistance. The new deal involves owner-occupiers of homes and small businesses between generally 60 and 120 metres from the line from London to Birmingham. Let's just go and get the thoughts of Joe Rukin, who's the campaign manager for Stop HS2, see how he feels this afternoon. Hello, Joe.
Evening, Paul.
Let's start with the value issue, because additional compensation now.
Well, what's basically happened is another case of consult and ignore from HS2 Limited. The same as, additional compensation. These homeowner protection zones don't come into effect until HS2 has actually been voted through. And the need to sell scheme, which is for anyone living further away than 120 metres, is basically just a rebranded version of exceptional hardship. And with that, out of the 158 applications that have been, only 40 have actually paid out. So 25% have paid out of the applications. And, the worst thing is that the Hybrid Bill Committee that's currently taking evidence, they said that they wanted input into this scheme and they wanted to suggest changes, but the schemes that have been put forward are exactly what was consulted on. And it's one thing for the government to ignore, the thousands of people who were trapped in blighted properties up and down the line, but it seems to us that they've ignored the Hybrid Bill Committee because there aren't any changes at all, and they thought that need to sell should be want to sell, and maybe you didn't have to unnecessarily try and sell the property, because you've got to, at the moment, you've got to have your house on the market for 3 months. And the thing is, estate agents are saying, well, this isn't going to sell, so I want the money up front. And they're actually saying that you need to demonstrate that you've tried to reasonable marketing, a considered marketing strategy from 2 estate agents. So you're going to have to shell out up front to pay an estate agent to try and sell a house that he knows won't sell before you can even apply for this thing. And it just seems absolutely daft.
So, assuming you do that, then you apply, you get the full value?
Well, 25% of the people who've applied get the full value, and that's the problem, that most of them don't get it. And you're talking about value. As you said, the Public Accounts Committee is yet again, I think this is the 3rd or 4th report that they've had that's been massively critical of HS2, saying that they don't think it's value for money. And it's about time someone in government listened to them. I mean, what's the point of having a Public Accounts Committee or a Treasury Select Committee or an Environmental Audit Committee if you don't actually listen to what they say?
The Transport Secretary, Patrick McLaughlin, has issued a statement. I'll just read it to you and then just get your thoughts, Joe. This comprehensive package of compensation and assistance is looking after those people who live along the HS2 route while balancing responsibilities to the taxpayer, because that's got to be taken into account. People at the heart of this vital new railway will also benefit from HS2 Limited's new Residents' Charter, the appointment of the Residents' Commissioner, who will ensure that the commitments in the Charter are upheld. Building HS2 will create extra space on our rail network, create jobs, support business. It's a vital part of the government's long-term economic plan. But what about Residents' Commissioner, the Residents' Charter, balancing responsibilities for the taxpayer?
That is the Residents' Commissioner and as well the Complaints Commissioner as well are just window dressing, to be perfectly honest, because you'd expect that if you were going to have these people, they might be independent, but they're not. They report directly to the chair of HS2 Limited. So we don't expect nothing out of them, quite honestly. And what we've seen is that people applying for compensation haven't got it, and they've just repackaged the old scheme in terms of everyone who lives within 120 metres will now get compensation. That has been extended because it was up to 60, now it's up to 120. But because you're looking at massively rural areas where the noise transmits, where there aren't really alternative roads, so they're going to have all the construction traffic on country lanes, what you've seen is a massive drop-off in property prices, which will not recover after HS2 is built, because these places sell for the prices that they have done in the past because they are in a tranquil rural setting. And when HS2 is there, they won't be.
Joe, thanks for joining us. I'm sure we'll be talking fairly regularly.